One family, one people, one planet, one love. One family, one people, one planet, one love. One family.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to SoulCall Sunday. My name is Lisa Ferrero, the founder and spiritual director of SoulCall Global, and wherever you are on the planet this morning, we welcome you. And if you're watching this later, as many of you do, we welcome you as well. If you're in the house, let everybody know you're here. Thank you so much. And for all of you who tuned in, many of you are here volunteering, but those of you who tuned in via live stream for the Jazz Up the Holidays, the 19th annual, and made that a huge success. Thank you. Yeah. I'll have you know, we are still in the process of raising funds. Our cutoff date for raising funds for our SoulCall Santa is December 14th. So our goal was $5,000. This is where you all come in. Who's good at doing fake drum rolls? We're gonna do like a Clark. Yeah. Remember when he's ready to plug in the drum roll out on the lawn? So far, okay, so we had a silent auction. Our silent auction brought in $1,050. Which is really awesome. Yeah. And our contributions, we still have a fund drive floating around out there on Facebook. My goal on that was $2,000. And the last time I checked, we were at $1,910. So come on, $5 here, $5 there, here, $5 there, $5 everywhere, $5 or 500 put us over the top. So the bottom line is we are at just over $4,000. So we've got almost $1,000 left to hit our $5,000 goal for our SoulCall Santa. And once again, people ask this often, where's the money going? SoulCall Global is a 501c3. We are our own nonprofit. So technically, we don't have to give it to anyone. We do a lot of great things in the world on our own. We are a nonprofit. We are also set up to distribute food, which we have done, like 10,000 pounds of food over the last couple of years. So that, and we are giving money and donating musical instruments, art supplies, clothing, necessities for families and children on our own as SoulCall. Yeah. So hear that. Yeah. It's important. It's important to realize we're a nonprofit. So we could do it ourselves. We're designed to do that. So thank you for your contributions. But we also happen to help another organization this fund drive called Motherful, which is an organization founded by single mothers helping single mothers. And so they've got some families targeted. We have some families targeted through Columbus City Schools and other areas. We've got 13 children we are going to supply gifts for and clothing. So they came to us because of the food drive. They reached out to us to say, is this organization does anything around the holidays? So that's because of all of you. We are starting to get recognized as a vital force in the community. And so I thank you for making that possible, because it's your contributions. Then the other thing we're doing is we're donating at least $500 of our money to the Delaware County Humane Society. It's a no-kill shelter, and there were a lot of pandemic pets out and about, and then all of a sudden they were returned to the shelter because for various reasons. So I actually met with them and was talking about this very thing to them, and they educated me on the problems. They run at a deficit all year long. They run at a deficit all year long. So our contribution is going to go a long way, or at least part of the way, in keeping those pets fed and those people employed doing the great work they do. So we're doing it, and we're doing it. Emphasis on the we. We're all French today. Yeah. So I want to thank you for that. Jazz Up the Holidays is wildly successful. Next year is our 20th. We're going to pull out all the stops. Yeah. Do you know where that phrase comes from? Pulling out all the stops. Those giant pipe organs. When they would pull the stops out, it would be like, it would be a thunderous response. So we're going to pull out all the stops, and we're going to make a big noise, and it's going to be a vibrant, beautiful sound. So I'm so excited about that. That was my favorite part of the day. Hopefully the talk will be equally as exciting. Today the conversation is going to be focused around the frequency of peace as we move into the theme for the month of December, which is bringing in the light, finding the light in the dark. And I know just recently in the Columbus area, there were some things that went down that weren't exactly peaceful, but they're happening all over the planet. So how can we tune into the frequency of peace, if there is such a thing? What is it, and how do we fine-tune ourselves to resonate in perfect pitch with the frequency of peace? So to start this morning, there's always a fantastic start is pulling in the energy. And something I was thinking about the other day, and I'm going to write about more of this, we were laughing about that. If anyone saw some people who just released books, they always say, as you'll read about it in my book. It is forthcoming in my book. Just about the more energy we pull in of solid light, the less penetrable we become with other people's negative ideas. They just kind of bounce right off. Remember that little saying, I'm like rubber and you're like glue? Everything I say bounces off of me and sticks to you. Well, you can make that rubber aspect could be the vibration of light. Kids are onto something when they're saying that kind of stuff, and they're using their imaginations to keep things out of their vibrational field that are just, no thanks, that's all for you, thank you very much. So the frequency of peace is all about, no thank you, you may have that all to yourself, right? And I'm going to keep my peace in the vibration there of and herewith, heretofore, all those really legal terms. So to do that, we're going to bring in Master Sifu Helen Yi, who's going to take us through an exercise of pulling in the chi. Chifu Helen Yi. Here she comes. And if you're in the room, now find a little space and.
Yeah, so in my book, just making sure you guys are, yeah, all right, Phil. All right, so we are going to work with energy anytime we do Qigong. And so one of the most famous quotes from the Yellow Emperor's classic book on internal medicine, quote is, basically in short, do not squander your energy. And how do you do that? With your mind's focus. So train your mind to focus the energy within. And so with this practice, I want you to get really deep into your mind's awareness. Connect with that subtle vibration you're feeling in your body. And continue to feel it as we go through our Qigong practice today. From here, go ahead and float your arms up as if there's 2 helium balloons attached to your wrist, up to shoulder height. From here, bending the wrist, opening the Lao Gong points, the energy centers in the palm. Connect that energy center with the universal Qi. Allow your mind to focus that energy coming into the Lao Gongs, into the arms, into the shoulders as you relax the elbows. Bringing it in, yielding to that energy of Qi, that powerful force within the universe, intermingling into your internal microcosmic energies. Go ahead and extend the arms again, keeping the Qi inside the body. Again, using your mind's intention, draw that energy from the universe, from the environment, allowing it to come in, receiving that energy, allowing it to bathe all the trillions of cells, all the different systems in the body, into the muscles, into the tendons, into the bones, deep into the bones. Extending the arms one more time. Again, collecting that Qi, feeling it. And now relax the wrist, bring your arms parallel to the body, making yourself big and huge, bending the wrist, opening the Lao Gongs, absorbing that Qi, bending the elbows, relaxing the shoulders, feel that energy coming in, nourishing all the body cells, extending out, holding the chi in. Feel that cosmic connection and drawing the chi in. We are a magnetic field of energy. We have that ability to draw the energy of creation, of the universe, into our own microcosmic chi energies. Again, extending out, hold the chi in the body. Feel the absorption of it going deep. Relax the wrists, float the arms down. Feel the chi coming into the body, between the arms and the hands, pushing it in. From here, circle that chi, collecting all the particles. See it and visualize it with your mind's eye. Golden lights of particles. Now, with your mind, focus that chi particles into a very small but very powerful chi ball. Continue to guide it into the lower dantian. Feel it absorbing in to the center of the body, into the dantian for later usage. Bring the arms out to the side and down. Now carry that feeling with you. And thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, Helen. And so just in keeping with that spirit, that beautiful peace, let's begin with a prayer and lead into meditation. O infinite divine beloved, we open up to the frequency of peace. We open up the door that leads to that sacred freedom, recognizing that thou art the doer, living, breathing, expressing as us. May we awaken to the awareness that peace begins with me. It's a decision we make. Lead us to the ways of peace. May we find it everywhere. Paramahansa Yogananda, the great yogi sage, said, never let someone get your goat. Your goat is your peace. May we find it and hold it forever in our hearts as we open to this sacred frequency, which is our divine birthright, but it's also the truth and the essence of our being. And we'll open up to this beautiful song about peace from the recording Sacred, a song called Peace by Lisa and Erika.
When the world feels heavy with sorrow and my heart hangs weary and sore, when I start to lose my faith in tomorrow and see no end to this endless war, I close my eyes and hear a voice whisper quietly, saying peace, peace, peace begins with me. Oh, peace, peace, peace begins with me. find our way to peace, we must see that peace is the way. Peace isn't every step we take, it's how we walk through every day. So close your eyes and hear a voice whisper lovingly, saying peace, peace, peace begins with me. Oh, peace, peace, peace begins with me. Peace in every moment, peace in every step, peace in every heartbeat, peace in every breath, peace in every moment, peace in every step, peace in every heartbeat, peace in every breath, peace in every moment, peace in every step, peace in every heartbeat, peace in every breath.
Peace in every moment, peace in every step, peace in every heartbeat, peace in every breath. And so be it. Om Shanti, peace. Amen. So just bringing your attention back to the room, maybe wiggle your fingers or tap your toes, or whatever helps you to recognize, here we are in this place we've chosen, little Dr. Seuss there. I don't know. Sometimes rhymes just kind of flow right in, and that rhymes bring me peace. Do you ever read poetry and it, doesn't always rhyme, but I like lyrics that rhyme, right? When you're singing a song, do you ever come across a lyric that doesn't quite rhyme, but they try to make it rhyme? Not as peaceful as the rhyming ones, right? It's just kind of like, wait a minute. It pulls you out of the song for a minute if you're someone like me, and makes you think. So this vibration of peace is something that is in our being that keeps us centered in our heart, centered in that feeling of calm, where we don't have to stop and think about, what the heck? You notice when you're having peaceful moments or peaceful days, there's a way your consciousness is occupied in a different way than it is when you're trying to figure something out to bring a peaceful resolution. I see you nodding your heads and not nodding off yet, which is good. But you see the difference? So if there's a frequency of thought, it creates a frequency of a resulting energy that we put out. Sometimes when we're driving, especially this time of the year, we might notice people a little preoccupied by the way they're driving or not driving, whatever they're doing, like sitting at the light, they're not moving. Probably not at peace or completely present with what is. How many times do we catch ourselves not being fully present with what is? Or something comes into our field and it looks familiar, or it's a place we like to go to when we want to feel bad, or find proof that something in my life is not working. See, it's the same old thing. And it knocks us off of the joy of the moment and the celebration, but reels us right back into a place of, when I say back, it's like turning back the dial on a radio station trying to find the song you just heard. You really can't do it. Have you ever tried to do that when you were a little kid? I wish, when I was growing up, I wish the radio had a repeat button so I could hear my favorite song again. And I wish it had a skip button to skip past the ones I did not like. Get to the next song already. Or we would spend a whole hours like waiting for your favorite song, right? When I was young, I listened to the radio. Remember that? Waiting for my favorite song. So what if life is like a favorite song? What if we could program our frequency to be something that vibrates to something similar to, oh my gosh, hearing my favorite song? What if you could be in the energy of your favorite song all the time? Floating in that bubble of peace, the frequency of peace. What if it's something you create yourself? You know, there's a great controversy going around among musicians and people who are in, you know, composers and things like this with the frequency of pitch. So when you go to a concert hall and you hear an orchestra and they tune, they're tuning to an A so that everybody's in tune. When they start to play, it sounds more pleasing when everybody's playing in tune. One of the things that used to drive me crazy as a singer is sometimes, like in the middle of a set, I'll be standing between the piano, the bassist, and sometimes a guitarist over here, and if one of them is just out, it's like, oh my God, who do I sing to? How do I, you know, tune into the thing that's mostly there? That doesn't happen often. Usually good musicians can hear that kind of thing, but it's like, it's a thing. Anyway, all that to say, when they're tuning, this controversy was, back in 1939, there was a conference in London where it was agreed upon that the tune, the frequency of the rate of vibration, the rate of the wave of the A would be locked in at 440. Up to then, it was a little varied in different places, and the idea was there was a frequency, if some of you are into healing vibrations and sounds, it's the tune of 432. And that's what most people are saying is the sacred one, and they changed it so that we couldn't feel as peaceful. They were doing it as a conspiracy to, maybe, if you believe that, you'll believe that. I think there's something to a lot of things, definitely vibrations. I'm not saying there isn't. I'm somebody who's very in tune with dimensional vibrational reality, and I know that different frequencies do different things to us, through us. But a recent double-blind study from Italy showed that music tuned to 432 hertz slows down the heart rate when compared to 440. This frequency of 432 fills the mind with feelings of peace and well-being, making it the perfect accompaniment for yoga, gentle exercise, meditation, or sleep. So this was done in Italy. They didn't say anything about maybe a little glass of Chianti helped. I'm not sure. Little plate of pasta, some Chianti, and the 432 frequency. All right. I'll go to that retreat.
Exactly.
Sounds good to me. I don't know. There's something that also has to do with the rhythm of the music you're listening to and the tempo. Okay, so which is, you know, I've composed a lot of music using sacred geometry and figuring out how these resonant fields connect with each other to get a particular outcome based on input. How it comes into our body and what it can do for us as it keeps us in tune. All of our cells become dancing harmoniously and vibrating to the perfect pitch of light. Bing, like as clear as a bell, right? So we can walk through with this energy, this frequency, but there's something about the tempo of it, like the slower, like a resting heart rate when you go to the doctors. They like to see you somewhere around 60 or so, because it's calm. You notice how your heart beats faster when you get excited about something, right? You could just be sitting there and get excited in your heart. It doesn't necessarily mean you ran up the steps or anything like that. But the tempo, if you compose something and sing it at a vibration where people are singing with you, we can get everybody in sync with a heart rate Your heart will start beating at the same tempo, and your breath will slow down to the same tempo. And then we can get that group, when we do our kirtan chanting, it's quite intentional what we're doing there. It's trying to create a field of peace based on frequency, vibration, tempo, calm, creating this calm space of a resonant field. The only other way you can do that, besides getting people to sing together, the only other time that you can get the heartbeat and the breath in sync, other than singing, is kissing. So rather than going and kissing the whole audience, which would probably, that's not gonna happen, singing. So think about that. Just take that in for a second and let that just really get in there. It's like, so singing is a powerful, when we sound our body cavities, there's no mistaking how good it can make us feel. So taking this frequency of peace, maybe it is 432. If you believe it is. So what I'd like to propose is taking some of these ideas outside of the realm of cause and effect, which is what we're working on right now. Actually, I instinctively put one hand up and one hand down, right? In order to hold hands with somebody, somebody's up, like somebody's down, right? So it doesn't really matter, but in the world of duality, we always look for the this and the that. Try to find that third way, right? As a creative coach, I coach people on find the third way, and you'll find 30 more, and you will. Because if it's this or that, you're stuck. And it becomes a bit of a power struggle. But when two ideas come together to form the third idea, what if we take a little of this and a little of that? Peanut butter and chocolate, Reese's peanut butter cups and everything else, right? Delicious. You've got something, Khalil Gibran talks about marriage in this way. Two solid pillars supporting a structure. But it takes two completely balanced, poised, strong, purposed individuals to hold up a new idea. So what if in our balanced nature, we become, they, as we are saying now, there's like he, she, they. You're all they, we're all they. We're all a balance of masculine, feminine traits, whatever we call that thing. A lot of these faith traditions that roll down through the centuries were founded by people we would say were men. What if the feminine started some new things? That's what I'm here to do, is to find, SoulCall is more feminine because here I am, I look that way, but it's more all of it. It's a balanced thing that supersedes everything that came before. We're here to rise above the vibration of, you need to strike the mallet on the xylophone to get the note. No, we don't have to hit anything. You can feel these frequencies and vibrations inside and bring them forth from your own being. It's not an outside-in approach to life. SoulCall Global is an inside-out approach to life. So the more we focus on this inner frequency of peace, we become the vibration of it as who we are. We're this constant striving to achieve it, or to find it outside ourselves, or to go to the next retreat or the next this to find and pull in and pull in and pull in. It's not like that kind of food. It's manna. It's food for the mind that nourishes the soul. It's that frequency. That's what, when you talk about Jesus, the man feeding people with manna in the desert, it wasn't food. It was stimulating the consciousness that knows, I'm beyond all this stuff. I am here to have an experience. So one of the things I realized over the past weekend, again, this happened once before in the 90s, I was visiting a friend in California. It was one of the first times I had been to San Francisco, and we went on a huge bike ride. It was like a 36-mile bike ride through the city of San Francisco, across the Golden Gate Bridge, which was amazing, stopping into we were going out to Tiburon, which is on the other side of the bay where Sausalito is, and then just in a little more. And as we were riding across the bridge, I got a clear insight that I was born in Pittsburgh, which is deemed the city of bridges. And I recognized myself even then as a bridge builder. And it's bridge building, we're all bridge builders, whether we realize it or not. And ours is to build a bridge between this and that, the here and the there, the black and the white, the male and the female, that whatever else. Put it together as that solid pillar that Khalil Gibran is talking about, and be of support for a new idea, a foundation of which we can bridge consciousness between worlds with sacred vibrations. So, on planet Earth, we can hear vibrations that are lower in frequencies. Like we can hear the bass. I love the bass when I'm dancing. When I'm singing, I tune into the bass too, because it holds the root of everything else that's going in my being. It's like the root of the song. An excellent bass player is my best friend. It's where it's at. And then the rhythm. When the bassist and the drummer are in sync, you're moving in time and you're held in the root. You can't fall out of this cradle. It's that beautiful, right? Rhythmic instruments that are in tune with each other. We are a rhythmic instrument. You think of the ways our body is very percussive. Everything that keeps us anchored in this body is based on rhythms, breath, heartbeat, everything. Our bodily rhythms, females and males, we've got all of these things that work in tandem to keep us experience the joy of the vibrations of this planet Earth. I was looking out at my yard this morning, and I like when it's wintertime and it looks completely still, like nothing's happening. And I was able to see just light, a different frequency of light than when it's summertime, dancing across the tips of the blades of the grass. It's almost like they're tuned a little higher because they're tight. Do you understand what I'm saying? When it's green, it's filled with fluid and it's a little more, right? So the frequency comes down, but what it's playing in tandem with the flowers and the wind and everything else, you get quite an array. In the winter, it's a little more tight and the frequency's higher. Does this make sense? You with me? Yes, I am a weirdo from a long time ago. But this is the thing. I was watching the light just kind of tip across the frozen blades of grass. And it was kind of like, instead of like it would do in the summertime, the blades of grass are frozen. So I'm like, almost like scraping icicles dripping off the side of your gutter. You know that sound that it makes? You almost love that as a kid. I did anyway. I couldn't wait to find some stick to get up there and just to hear that. You could only hear that in winter. And I just started thinking about us and how we move in cycles. What if we participated more fully with what the infinite wanted us to be tuned to in any given moment, and play a song of peace for the world? Sometimes we find ourselves in situations that are lower vibrational than where we would like to hang out. Anybody bring? It's just like yesterday. Yeah, I was at the Kroger. No, I mean, fighting for a turkey or the last can of Cool Whip or whatever. Not me personally. I'm just saying, whatever it is for us at any given moment. What if we decided to, before we went out and made a symphony of our day, we tuned into the Grand Master, the maestro of the universe, and tune me to the frequency of divine peace wherever I am today. Wherever I'm going to be, may my instrument be tuned to play as part of the symphony of peace. Maybe it's a little higher today, maybe it's a little lower. Doesn't matter. What matters is what you materialize with the way we move through the world. The way you move, the way I move through the world. Some days, it's easier to sing a happy song than others. Sometimes it's not a happy song we need to sing. We just need to be with somebody who's sad. They don't want you to cheer them up. They just want to be heard. I need to feel this for a minute. I don't need for you to pull me out of it. Can you just be here with me? Growing up in the Catholic Church, my solace was what I was able to bring musically to the situation. That's what I realized why I was stuck there like I thought I was. I was a little kid, I thought I was stuck there. But I wasn't stuck there. I was to be of service there. And once I got my head around that when I was 9, I stopped resisting so much. Because it was just like, can you just be where you're placed and do what you came to bring and don't make it about something else? And as soon as I did that, I started to have a purpose for being there, and I became more fully alive I didn't even realize some of the gifts I had. What about you? I mean, think about, where you are in it, in the place of things at the moment, and how, if you keep getting placed there, what are you to bring there maybe? Maybe I'm not supposed to get something out of it this time. Maybe I'm supposed to offer. And then in the offering, I realized, oh my God, I get so much out of this. Thank you for not pulling me out of it. It's in our giving that we receive, isn't it? It's that cycle of energy. But what I realized was, being able to sing, I would sing. I was the person who would sing for all the weddings and all the funerals. And I realized they're almost exactly the same. You just have to be where the people are. In the middle of it is love at the deepest level, the most profound. One is at the start and one is at the transition. So it was all frequency driven, and I didn't get caught up in whether it was I wasn't more happy singing at a wedding or more sad singing at a funeral. I was being tuned to the frequency of peace. I was trying to bring love, the infinite love. I was bridging the gap between worlds. This is where I was going with this. I was learning, if you could bridge the gap between this seeming land of duality in your being, and balance it here, you become an instrument, like a sacred tuning fork that can connect worlds. So where the frequency of the vibration of our sensory perception drops off inside, it's the same. You can go a couple octaves higher because you can hear it. And when you do what you're doing, you're connecting one world to the next, one level of opportunity with the next. Become that bridge builder in consciousness, the frequency of peace. There's none of us that is more special than the other in this. Some of us are just more attuned. It doesn't take a lifetime. I hear that all the time too. You've been doing this your whole life. Yeah, but that doesn't mean I keep improving my tuning, right? I keep improving my tuning. We all can do it, and it takes a second. Once you make the decision to shift, bam, it'll come right in. It'll come right in. So it's just like holding an instrument, and as soon as you decide to tune it, you tune it, and it's in tune. It doesn't say, well, you got to try to tune me for like 8 years, or else you'll never be as in tune as we might not play the instrument the same way as someone else, but that's not the goal either. We're here to inspire each other to get our music out. Our frequency of peace is our song. It's the song of our soul. It's the song of our soul. And that sacred song is love. So to just be love is to be the frequency of peace, whether it's 432 or like if you did a little research online, you'll find some people who've written about this extensively, about these frequencies and pitches all throughout time. Like Pythagoras was the one that started with a lot of these sacred harmonics, and back then you couldn't get an instrument anywhere near the pitches we're talking about here. It was all over the place. So two things makes me think about. Back then we were at a different point in our evolution of consciousness. Maybe that's why the frequency was lower. As we raise our vibration, everything raises. Get it? It's true. So we're here for a very specific purpose. When we see things breaking down around us, don't be discouraged. Don't be discouraged. That's the time to stay in tune more than ever. Double down on your tuning techniques, whatever that is for you. What brings you joy, tune into the frequency of yes, 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 yes. So I'm going to end with reading Waging Peace. It's a beautiful poem by Mary Oliver. Waging Peace. Wage peace. Wage peace with your breath. And this was after a disaster, but like if you can think of things that are kind of challenging right now, when we see people acting out with aggression towards other people who are more gentle. You don't have to go far. There was a recent things happening all the time like this. But we have to be making the decision that we're going to wage peace. And this is where I was saying, like, We don't fight for peace. That is an old art brought down by faith traditions that are gone or leaving. Bring in the more peaceful, balanced approach, which is what SoulCall Global is doing. We're not trying to mastermind it. We are trying to massage it with peace. Re-heart yourself that you are love. Let yourself drop into the mind of the heart. That's where it's at. That's where everything is. So, waging peace is being that poised presence. Nothing can stand in the face of love and win and overcome it. There's nothing greater than love. So the bigger you can become, like the more you can pull in that energy, that chi, to make yourself firm, nothing can impress upon you something that you're not. The vibration will just bounce right off. You can't even get in there. So strengthen your chi. And here we go, Waging Peace by Mary Oliver. Wage peace. Wage peace with your breath. Breathe in firemen and rubble. Breathe out whole buildings and flocks of red-winged blackbirds. Breathe in terrorists and breathe out sleeping children and freshly mown fields. Breathe in confusion and breathe out maple trees. Breathe in the fallen and breathe out lifelong friendships intact. Wage peace with your listening. Hear sirens. Pray loud. Remember your tools. Flower seeds, clothespins, clean rivers. Make soup. Play music. Learn the word thank you in 3 languages. Learn to knit and make a hat. Think of chaos as dancing raspberries. Imagine grief as the outbreath of beauty or the gesture of fish. Swim for the other side. Wage peace. Never has the world seemed so fresh and precious. Have a cup of tea and rejoice. Act as if armistice has already arrived. Don't wait another minute. Enjoy this song called Just Be Love.
One clear thought, followed by one bold move, sets off a wave of emotion, making the way for a miracle. And what is a miracle? The shape of what can be, when we believe in what we cannot see. It is the courage of dreamers, the song of the singers, bringing in a better tomorrow. Knowing truth in the face of fear, standing strong till the coast is clear. Be brave, be bold, be wise, be love. It's the power of one who won't stand up, followed by one who won't back down. And one by one we remain true to the vision, turning injustice around. God's change is sure to come, and we know that we're the ones. Be brave, be bold, be wise, be love. Just be love, just be love, just be love.
Said you wanna be starting something, you got to be starting something. Said you wanna be starting something, sing it, you got to be starting something. Said you wanna be starting something, you got to be starting something. Said you wanna be starting something, you got to be starting something. Said
Never
you wanna be
doubt
starting something,
that a
you got to
small
be
group
starting
of
something.
thoughtful,
Said you wanna be
committed
starting
citizens
something.
can
You got to be starting
change the
something. Said you
world.
wanna be starting something.
Indeed,
You
it's
got
the
to be
only
starting
thing
something.
that
Said you wanna
ever
be starting
has.
something. You got to be starting something. Said you wanna be starting something.
Just be love. A change is sure to come when we know that we're the ones. Be brave, be bold, be wise, be brave, be bold, be wise, be brave, be bold, be wise, be love. Just be love. Just be love. Just be love.
Be brave, be bold, be wise. What is it? Be love. Yeah, just do it. That frequency of peace just comes right through, and just be love. So I want to thank you for joining us this morning for Soul Call Sunday. And wherever you are on the planet, once again, we welcome you to our conscious global community. And as we wind down the year, we've got a couple more weeks left for our Soul Call Santa Fund Drive. There are several ways you can get in on the action. All the money we raise in December goes to the Soul Call Santa Fund Drive, first of all. So with that, I thank you for your contributions. Many of you have already contributed on Facebook and social media. If you could share us with your friends, let them know the great work we're doing here. You can send them to our website. We're doing amazing things with our 501c3, and let them get in on the fun. So you'll see we circulated the Giving Tuesday link. That's going to be active until December 14th. We are about $90. Last time I checked, we're $90 shy of our $2,000 goal. If we want to go over it by $9,000, that's fine. Or even $90. All right, I'm sure we'll find plenty to do with those funds. There are a lot of people struggling in the communities you live in. It's very true. So I thank you for that. Other ways to donate, look for SoulCall Inc., I-N-C, SoulCall Inc. on Amazon Smile. When you're doing your shopping online, Amazon Smile. Yeah, and it doesn't cost you anything. It's Amazon's way of giving back to multiple places. Kroger, if you shop at a Kroger store, we are on that list also, SoulCall Inc. So we get these little checks, and they're starting to grow as people are catching on. So hey, Joy, thanks for joining us, and congratulations, Duncan. Her nephew, if you follow Joy online. Let's hear it for Duncan. He just set a record, 5,000 meter. We follow him. Very exciting. He's a runner, man. So back to there's ways to give. Yeah, so there's that Kroger, Amazon, and just straight up soulcallglobal.org/donate. You can get in on the fund there, and all your contributions are tax deductible. So there's that. The other thing is, coming up December 21st, our Kirtan group is going to have out at the Dempsey Event Center in just into Delaware County. It's not like Delaware County. It's just 15, 17 minutes maximum from here.
Outskirts of Columbus.
It's on the outskirts of Columbus. Yeah, talk about the next, getting into the next realm of vibration. Columbus, bam, then you're right there. The Dempsey Event Center on solstice, December 21st, Wednesday night at 7 o'clock. Our Kirtan group is going to be out there chanting and singing, followed by a holiday party, a solstice celebration. You are all welcome to be there. So join us, 7 o'clock. Bring your friends, bring your voice. December 21st, solstice, and bringing in the light. We'll be doing lots of chants about light that day. Thank you for your requests for prayers. Our prayer team is phenomenal with our healing team. We send out love and light and prayers, and we get positive results for folks who are in need of just a little extra energy to get through these healing challenges, these health crises. So prayers at soulcallglobal.org. And also Helen Yee's got her video is available if you want to share that with friends. HelenHYee.com, her Qigong video. We're going to be doing some more with Helen. Look for us in the months to come. We're going to start some programs at the beginning of the year just to get us all dialed in right with that Qi, that frequency of Qi, that peace. We'll be little Chia pets. Chia pets for peace. We should start. Let's do it. Let's start a movement. What else? I'm forgetting something. I always forget something because there's so much. But yes, that was it. Or the Jazz Up the Holidays. Mr. and Mrs. Claus. There I am in my sparkly. Since it was a rainy night in Ohio, I decided to bring the snow. And what a great time we had at Jazz Up the Holidays. I want to thank Mr. and Mrs. Claus, all of our volunteers who made that happen. They worked very hard. Everyone who donated things to the silent auction. We had a really good time putting it together, but it was a lot of really intense work. But you all did it, so give yourselves a hand. Nobody does it alone. It never happens that way. So it does take a village, but it takes a consciousness to want to do something differently. So we welcome you to our conscious global community. Please share us with your friends. If you want to sign up for the newsletter, info@soulcallglobal.org, and we'll get you onto the newsletter. And share that newsletter with your friends. Share this goodness. Don't keep it all to yourself. YouTube, you can sign up and subscribe to our YouTube channel, and also share that with your friends too. They can tune in anytime. We've got some fun and exciting things coming up in the new year. So once again, on our $5,000 goal for our SoulCall Santa Fund Drive, for a nonprofit our size, that's pretty substantial. And we're doing really great. We're like $900 shy of our $5,000 goal. So if you're in a position to help put us over the edge with that, I invite you to raise your vibration of peace. And, no, I'm just kidding. Just like send it our way, and I'll say thank you in advance. Give what you can, and just know that every dime of it is going to help others who are in need or coming up a little bit short this holiday. All right? So with that in mind, I want to say thank you so much. We'll see you next week. It'll be Kirtan Sunday here. And coming up on December 18th, it's going to be a wonderful music week. We will have Ben Maloney will be with us on keyboards, and so will Jesse Powers. So you're going to want to be in the house or tuned in. It's always magic. All right? And wherever you are on the planet, whatever seems to be coming into your vibration, puff yourself out with light, knowing that you are loved. Peace and blessings.
One family, one people, one planet, one life.